Welcome everyone to webinar number 2, Secure Array. And today's agenda, we will cover what is a secure array, benefits of using a secure array, explain more what a secondary and an alternate PDU are, a quick setup guide overview, where to find additional information about secure arrays. So what is a secure array? It's an IP consolidation technology used within our CPI eConnect PDUs to allow up to 48 PDUs or 32 if integrated with our electronic lock kits to share one or two IP addresses with failover. This is a feature available within all networked eConnect PDUs, including our monitored eConnect, our monitored Pro eConnect, the Switch eConnect, and Switch Pro eConnect PDU. Two PDUs within the array are assigned IP addresses. So the first PDU in the array has an IP address, and it is referred to as the primary PDU. The last PDU in the chain is also assigned an IP address, and it is referred to as the alternate primary. And in the event a PDU within the array loses connectivity, all PDUs upstream of that failed PDU automatically begin to communicate through the primary PDU. And all PDUs downstream of that failed PDU begin communicating through the alternate primary PDU, as shown in the image. Also, all the PDUs will show up under the Status Overview tab on our web interface for that primary PDU. As you can see in the image, we have the list of units that are in the secure array, and you can find this under that Status Overview tab. Here you will also find any details of any PDU by clicking on that specific PDU. Some of the benefits of using a secure array is that this technology helps businesses save up to 90% of rack PDU networking costs by minimizing the number of IP addresses. It also allows data centers to save significant time and costs associated with cabling PDUs, which can take a lot of time. In addition, it significantly reduces the time to configure several PDUs. Another benefit is that it's easy to deploy. The first PDU in the chain has its Ethernet connection connected to the IP network. The in port on the second PDU needs to be connected to the out port on the next PDU using the standard Cat5/6 cable. The sequence continues, and the last PDU within that chain is again connected to an IP network. The primary PDU can be configured to send an alarm if in the total number of linked PDUs, it detects that it's lower than the initial configuration. So if the primary PDU loses connectivity, the alternate primary PDU automatically picks up information from all the PDUs within the array. The alternate primary PDU can be configured to either maintain its role or pass the role back to the primary PDU once the communication is back to that primary PDU. Other benefits of using secure array can be found in our switched eConnect PDUs. Here, the outlets can be grouped and maintain proper functionality. Think of when rebooting a server. In Monitored Pro eConnects, it can help calculate the total of power consumption of a server in a group of outlets. Firmware upgrades and configuration changes can be pushed through all or selected PDUs in the array. Remote cabinet access control through electronic lock kit is possible with all the PDUs that are linked together in the secure array. And finally, data from the primary PDU can be cloned to the other PDUs in the secure array by checking the desired parameters and selecting the PDUs to be cloned. Now, we've discussed terminology so far as primary, alternate, let's understand these a little bit more. There are three possible roles. There's primary, secondary, and alternate. Only one PDU can be primary, and this must be the PDU with the highest level of functionality and highest number of outlets within that functionality. The primary PDU is attached to the network and serves as the beginning of the secure array. That said, a secondary PDU is that which a secondary role has been assigned, and it is linked to the primary PDU or is a standalone PDU. This is a default setting that you will see showing either on the display of your PDU and also on the web interface. An alternate PDU is the PDU assigned with that role as alternate. It is connected to the network to provide a backup network connection in case the primary role PDU loses its power. Only one PDU can be alternate, and this PDU must be equivalent to the primary PDU in functionality and number of outlets for it to fully support the array. In the web interface, we would see this as shown in the image here, which says secure array role and the alternate is selected. Now for a quick setup guide, the first thing that we will need is, of course, our PDUs, and you will need two RJ45. For an easy understanding of where these cables would be connected, we have signaled here on this PDU where the in and out ports for the secure array. So on A, we would add the link in serial, and then on B, in B, we would connect the link out port for secure array, and we can use a Cat5/6 cable here. Once it's set up, in PDUs, we will know that there is a secure array already configured because the blue home is going to turn green. And that is for all of the PDUs connected in the array. Now, when doing the first configuration, you will see in the web interface a list to your left under the settings and PDU tab of the units that are connected. And then it will ask you for more details about the PDU. It will also ask to check if you want to make a specific PDU the alternate. Other selections that can be done here is the link count change. So if the count of the units in the array changes, it can send a notification if that's something that's wanted. And it can also send a notification if any of the PDU roles are changed. And this is an example of how the setup would look like. Once the primary and the alternate are selected, it will show in the web interface like this. So we would have the units in the array showing to the left side. And then as we go into each PDU, let's say we go into the primary, we would see the primary role selected and saved. If we go into the alternate, we will see the alternate role selected. And if we go to any of the secondary PDUs, then we would see that role selected. And this is a brief video on how it would look like to go into a secure array. So we're going to log in here in the primary PDU. And as mentioned before, here's the list of all of the PDUs included in the list in the secure array. And if we go to settings, in this primary PDU, we will see that the role selected is primary. It has been assigned. From here, we can go to other units and check what their settings are. So again, we will be prompted to log in with our credentials. And we will see again that list to the left of all of the PDUs available in the array. And if we click settings, we can check for the role assigned for this PDU. In this case, this is a secondary. And let's go and check now the alternate settings. And it shows here that the role assigned is alternate. Another interesting thing included in this feature is that we can sort the units. So there's going to be that button at the top of the list that says sort. And it will let us change the order that we see the units. And finally, there is a feature that it is included for Secure Array, and it's the clone feature. So whenever we want to transfer any settings available in the primary PDU into the other PDUs connected in the array, we can do so here. So we can either select all of the settings or just very specific ones, and we can select the PDUs where we want to clone these to. We click on clone, and that should set up the PDUs with that transfer of settings. And then if you want to find additional information on secure arrays, you can visit the user manual in our website. I recommend going to pages 5, 7, 14, 23, 45, and 46 to check exactly what we've reviewed in this presentation. And also you can visit the Secure Array FAQs. And we will be sharing that in the chat so you have easier access to this information.